It is 6:30 p.m. here on DBS television, and it is the usual time for our rendezvous on Viewpoint, where we take the views of men and women on societal issues, political issues, economic issues, and religious matters concerning our society. In every human society, the reunion between a man and a woman is sanctioned from three fronts: through the religious means, through the legal means, and through the traditional means. In today's edition of the program, we will be looking at the normal traditional, way of union that exists in Cameroon and how that should be upheld or be discouraged. And in this edition, we would have the privilege again of receiving members of the Solidarity Sisters. They were here with us at the beginning of the week, and today we will be looking at societal issues this time. Permit me begin by welcoming the discipline mistress. She was here last time and she is still there. Atanga Mildred, good evening. Thank you for accepting our invitation.
Good evening.
The pleasure is ours. The pleasure as well for our viewers, who would be happy certainly having you again after last Monday that we were together. She's accompanied again by Ngona Pelagie Law. She is the secretary of Solidarity Sisters. She was here last Monday. Good evening, Pelagie, and thank you for accepting our invitation.
Good evening. Thanks for inviting us again once more.
It is our pleasure that we are there. Like we said last week, Viewpoint is divided into two parts. The first part, questions and answers, and we go straight away to take the questions. Question 1, I begin with you, Pelagie. Can we stay as a marriage status in our society? Should that be encouraged?
Yes.
She thinks that can we stay should be encouraged in Cameroon. Mildred?
Yes, no.
It should not be.
No.
It should not be encouraged. She thinks that it should not be encouraged. Mildred, I remain with you. Does being in such a status, can we stay status, for any, does it call for any responsibility from the parties concerned? It doesn't. She thinks that there is no responsibility for the parties concerned. Pelagie, what do you think?
There is.
There are some responsibilities from the parties concerned. She thinks, yes, it calls for some responsibility. These are their views. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go straight away to part 2 of Viewpoint, where we are going to take their views. If you are just joining us, this is Viewpoint on DBS television, and we're equally broadcasting live on our Facebook page, like you have on your screen. We're talking about a Cameroonian situation. Come we stay. Come we stay is a traditional way in Cameroon where a young man and a young woman, not to say young man and young, but where a man and a woman decides to live together as husband and wife unceremoniously, unofficially. That is, they are not recognized by either the tradition, either the religious, or from the legal, that's the court system of bringing them together as husbands and wife. That is why in today's edition we are asking the question, should we encourage such a union? Come we stay. I begin with Mildred, who thinks that it should not. What is your point?
I believe come we stay should not be encouraged.
Yes.
Yes, it is not a responsible thing to do. It portrays irresponsibility. I believe when you acquire something for nothing, you will never value it. Most men who live with women without doing the right thing, that is paying the bride price, seeking for their parents' consent, most of them don't respect the women. In society, you see, most of those relationships always end up in separation. Most of them, they don't end up getting married. And it penalizes the woman most of the times because she ends up living maybe with children. With age, she cannot get married again. So I am against that point. Come we stay should be highly discouraged.
irresponsibility on the
Yes.
part of the man. Mildred, is both of them.
Both
Both
yes,
of them.
on part of both.
Is like marriage is now for the rich. What about those who don't have the means to get married? Should they not venture into this joyful union?
I don't think there's a price tag on marriage.
Okay.
I don't think there is a price tag on marriage, because I have never seen where bride price has been rejected. We are in Africa. We have to follow the norms. When you go, seek the consent of the parents. If they give you a list, it can be 5 million. Bring what you have. I have never seen where bride price has been rejected because it is small. Bring what you have. And in local language, we say bride price is never finished.
Okay. Which
Yes, which means you can start. And when you start, you're already married to the girl. So I don't think there's a price tag on marriage.
means, when you say you can start, what do you mean precisely?
Bring what you have. If you have intentions of getting married, it means you have something. Yes, to show your seriousness of getting married to the lady. You bring what you have, and I don't think it will be rejected
Okay.
or refused.
Are you saying that I come to get married to you, for example, and then your family gives me a diary list of 5 million, and I plead with them that unfortunately I have 50,000 francs? Does it go?
Well, yes and no. At times people do that out of stinginess. But I think if you explain yourself well, for example, maybe the man comes from a poor family, the lady comes from a very wealthy family, you can come, explain yourself. I have seen situations where the bride's parents have sponsored weddings in quiet, in silence.
Okay.
I have seen cases.
Your parents.
My parents sponsoring.
Give me money to go and pay your dad.
Yes.
Who will
And
I
they
pay to?
establish the man.
Yes. And the man becomes officially accepted in the family.
Yes.
Okay.
Because they consider the happiness of
their
their
child.
daughter.
Yes.
Rather than steal the child and then run off with, because most of the times they run off without the parents' consent and they start living together. I prefer seek the parents' consent.
Come out openly.
Come out openly.
Tell them that
yes.
you are not able
I might
to.
be a poor man. I might not be able to meet your standards. I might not be able to meet your requirements. But I really, really want to make a life with your daughter.
And you will not have parents who will say that if this young man cannot, please pack and leave him.
Yeah, I believe there are parents who would say that. But in most cases, bride price is not rejected.
Open up and come up. Okay, when you talk of you need to begin from somewhere, is it that I begin to tell them, because like you said, bride price is never finished?
Yes.
Is it that I just come and say, okay, for the 5 million, I have 50,000 francs. Okay, let us begin with, and maybe the next 10 years, I'm paying the 50,000 francs, but I'm already married. Is that, does it go like that in our cultures?
No, not
Okay.
really. What we mean by bride price is never finished is you will always have to go back to your in-laws.
Your in-laws, yes.
If they have projects, you have to support. If they have occasion ceremonies,
That is still part of
that
the
is
bride
part
price.
of the bride price.
Okay.
Yes, but when they give you a list, most people don't always finish the list.
Okay.
Just bring out what you have, and men, please go in for what you can afford. Because I don't think you go to a poor girl and they will ask you for 5 million. So go in for what you can afford.
Please, we are talking. Come out clearly. Go in for what you can afford. Which means I should not look for a girl from a wealthy family, from a rich family. I should go for a poor girl. What do you mean by what I can afford?
No, there are rich families who practically don't even take bride price.
Okay.
Yes. There are families that don't take bride price. There are families that you bring the bride price, they put it in an envelope,
And give it back to you.
Put something on it, and then they give
it back to you.
Give it back
Go-
to you.
go and settle with.
Go and settle with. But they want that gesture. They want that act of responsibility from
yes.
you to come out and say, "I am ready.
Yes.
I am a man. I can take the bold step."
Yes.
Yes.
How I wish we, the men, could be able to identify such families so that you go and they still put it in an envelope and send it back to you. Say that you should go and establish. Pelagie, we come back to you. All what Mildred is saying makes no sense to you at all. Yes.
It makes no sense, really.
Because according to you, such, come we stay, should be encouraged.
It should.
What is good in come we stay that you think that it should be encouraged?
To me, it's like a way of, you grow up together, you learn to know each other. Because we have most cases where people can we stay, they count as they started, can we stay. With time, if things are not moving, they separate. They don't have anything to lose, they don't get anything.
What happens if a child, because she indicated it, what happens if a child comes in? For how long should that come with stay be, so that I should say that I know you already? Because you are already you are growing in age. I'm also growing in age.
Yeah, that it depends now, because some of us have children back in our homes without living with men. Me, for instance, I had a child before getting married. I had that child was in our house.
But that is not the ideal.
What it's still the same. Maybe I was with a guy. We were trying to see if things can work out, and unfortunately, it didn't work out, and we separated. It doesn't mean because I have a child or two, I will not have another man. I don't think there's an age, specific age for marriage.
There is none, actually.
Yes. So for come stay, it is better you learn to know each other, so that if you cannot work, you separate from there. But if you can work, most cases, most marriages that start from can we stay, as we call it, are working today.
Okay, how do we look at can we stay and courtship? Can it not be the moment of courtship where I should try to know you?
You cannot say you know somebody
unless
with whom you don't live together.
Okay.
It's true. Even when we live apart, we learn to know each other. But living in the same house is not the same like when we live apart.
Because when you are visiting, you are a different person. But when we are already there, I now see you in your real self.
Yes, maybe if you are just coming to our house, I know he's coming to our house today, I prepare to be the way you would like to meet me. But when we are in the same house, when I'll sleep in that same bed, I'll get up and see this very face.
The same day, 1 month, 1 week, 1 year.
The same face. Even 1 year can be enough to know each other. The can we stay that I'm talking of, it does not mean we live for 10 years. When we are talking of children, it means that I don't think that's the sense of can we stay that I'm understanding.
Of course, yes. Yeah.
Living for 10 years, no, it means maybe the guy is not really willing. Because to me, if they say can we stay, maybe why learning to know each other? See, some of our families are too hard on men when they come to ask our hands in marriage. Both parties can look for money, look for way.
If families are that hard, would you abscond to go and live with the man, or it would be your family giving you the go ahead that okay, go and start staying with him? Would you decide to run away and go and start living with the man, or how would you do it if your family is that strict?
No, it's not running away from our house. It's not running away. Really, in most cases, the thing just starts in a way that they cannot explain, because cannot say I'll call my parents and say, as you are seeing, I want to go and live with this guy for some time. No,
they just discover when you are gone.
Yes, that's most of the cases. That's how it happens. Because you cannot say no, since you people are too expensive, he cannot afford the money now, so let me go and live with him for a time. No, I don't think that is possible. It happens like you go there you spend the weekend. You spend 1 week,
weekend it becomes,
and your parents get to know that she can go there and be for 1 week. Yes, 1 month. Where are you? Before you know it, you're already
3 months, 4 months, 1 year. You're already there.
You're already there.
Within this period of come we stay, are you allowed to have children?
They come we stay. When we are learning everything.
Okay, even learning to have children. Those children, what happens if at the end of the 1 year, 2 years, you discover that you people are not compatible? What happens to those children?
That we are not compatible.
Yes, that you can't live together.
We separate.
And what happens to those children?
I go with my children.
No, your children, were they not also mine?
If he wants the children, I can still leave the children with him.
Okay. And then if you go with the children, if you go with the children, do I still have any responsibility on them? I know that will be infringing into the second question. If you go with your children, do I still have a say on those children?
Of course. You take care of your children normally.
Yes. But Pelagie, you would understand that when we talk of one of the issues of the indiscipline that we have in our society is the problem single parents go through in bringing up their children alone. Is it not like encouraging such, giving fertile grounds for such type of cases? Because we can venture trying to see if we can live together, and if it cannot go, there is already a child, we separate, and the children grow on their own. Are we not like encouraging street children, bastards in our society?
We are not. Because saying that you should go for the council does not mean you come back.
Okay.
To me, going there is you learn how to live with the man and you
cope with the man.
Yes. You have to make it. Because maybe when you're apart, you don't really know. There are some parts of the man that you don't know. But when you come to know, you try to put the man to your taste. You try to put, or you put yourself to his taste too, so that you people can live together. Me saying that you should go and try does not mean you try and come back. No, the trying should succeed. You should succeed.
You must succeed.
You should succeed. I cannot say must.
Okay. We come back, Mildred. According to law, you should be able to know each other, and knowing each other should be living in the same house with you. So don't you think that with just your concept of now getting married before you go there now, if at the end of the day when you're already wedded, married officially, what happens? And you discover the other side of this young man, which completely what you did not expect.
I think before marriage we have courtship, which is a period of knowing each other. You have to take courtship to know each other, and there is something called honesty. Before marriage, you have to be honest.
You have to be open.
Yes, you have to be open. Tell your secrets, your deepest secrets to that person.
Are you not afraid that you sell your secrets to me and at the end of the day, I don't get married to you?
No.
Okay.
If you don't get married to me, it means you cannot live with those secrets. Because most marriages feel...
There is a difference between secrets and, maybe what you want and what you don't want, because your secret is what you alone know.
Okay,
you share with me tomorrow. We don't end. I just know that.
All right, let's not say secrets.
Yes.
Maybe your likes and dislikes.
Exactly.
What do you want in a woman? What do you want in a wife? How will you want your wife to behave? There are men who will admire you with all the makeup, the nails, artificial nails, eyelashes, but they will not want their wife to put it on.
Exactly.
Yes, tell the woman you want to marry, this is what I want. When we get married, you will not do this, you will do this. You, the woman, tell the man, get to know each other, communicate. I think with that, there will not be failure. And as my sister said, you are trying to succeed. What if you do not succeed?
Correct.
What if you do not succeed? And you end up with a child too?
Okay.
Bringing up a child.
Go ahead.
Bringing up a child as a single parent, that child is kind of psychologically imbalanced. That gap. Like, if I had a father, maybe I would be this. If I would have had this. And promoting Come Stay is promoting single parenting.
Exactly.
Because when it fails, the children suffer most in that relationship.
Okay. I'll come back to you. We are taking question 2 to find out if such a status of come we stay. Pelagie, we are talking in a situation where we are in, I call it is an apprenticeship period, right? Yeah. We are learning to become husband and wife. Do I have any responsibility towards you? Am I your husband during that period of apprenticeship?
I said during that period, we are learning everything.
Yes.
You are also learning how to be a husband.
How to be a responsible husband.
A responsible husband.
During that period, since I'm still in the course of learning, do I have any responsibility towards you? Am I your husband?
If I am under your roof, you have all the responsibilities.
Okay.
So do I too.
Okay. So, can you call me your husband? Because I'm still learning. That's what I'm asking.
No, calling you my husband is, I don't know.
Because at the beginning of the program, I said, what makes a union of a man and a woman is either the traditional wedding, the church wedding, or the court wedding. Out of these 3, we have not gone through any. The society does not know us. The thing is, we have decided to impose our union on the society. Is that not a crime?
I heard there is a saying that when you live under the same roof with a man for 6 months in Cameroon, it means...
that is in theory. I mean, in practical, can you stand among your friends and then say that he is my husband when there is no legal binding? Nothing binds you together to him.
No, I can't.
So,
I can't.
So is there any responsibility?
He is my to-be husband.
Which means, if I am supposed to take care of you, I will wait when you would become my wife, so that because I am to be husband, I'm also supposed to be, assume my responsibilities.
No.
Okay.
You start assuming your responsibilities from the
day you come in.
Yes. When we say you're learning, am I not cooking for you?
Of course you are.
Am I not doing all what I'm supposed to do like a woman?
Of course you are doing.
So you also have your responsibilities.
Okay.
Yes, normally. You take care of me normally. If I'm sick, you take me to the hospital. If
Yes.
my need, take care of my needs. Yeah, if I have a child, you take care of the child.
In that case, do we still need to talk about dowry? Should we even pay it?
We should.
What's the purpose?
To follow the law.
Yes.
We know that we're supposed to be married legally.
Yes.
So we had a period of trial. During that period, like in a normal man, a normal woman, we're supposed to be planning about how to legalize things. Because I also want to call you my husband tomorrow. Now I know if you have not paid the dowry, you've not taken me to court, neither to church, I cannot call you my husband. I cannot proudly say I am Madam this or that.
Okay. At the beginning of the program, Mildred said something that once you have something for free very easily, you don't value it. And we men, I believe men out there would understand with us that once you have something for free, you don't weigh it. Do you think that after the 1 year where we were trying to see if we could live together, I already know you? What will be pushing me again trying to legalize the union? Because everything I wanted from you, I had it.
It means you don't know my value. If you are not afraid of losing me, it means
Could
you don't
not
know my value.
maintain that value so that I pay the bride price before you come in? Because if there was a value at all.
There is. There was a value and there is still a value.
Of course.
Now, just living with me, there is a way I will leave you in the house. Since I'm trying to be that madam that I'm supposed to be.
Okay.
There is a way I'll be in the house that you yourself treating me bad or thinking that you lose me will make you be afraid.
When you say there is a way, you will be too good, or you will be halfway, or you will be too bad. Which way? When you say there is a way,
I will try to be that woman that you want me to be. And I'll
So
try
as
to
to, like,
make you
motivate
be the type of man that I want to.
yes.
The communication that she just talked about, that will trying to know our likes and dislikes. I'll try to like match my likes with your likes, so that we should be compatible. By so doing, I'm also encouraging you. You know, we need to legalize things. Things need to be this way. It depends on the way you discuss with the woman too.
Okay.
Because I cannot stay in your house for 1 year and we are not even thinking of making things
If at
real.
the end of the 1 year and it does not go, do you go back to your parent, or you rent an apartment and go to? Do you still go back to your family?
It depends on the way I left our house.
Okay. No, in the case, our premise was we normally leave for, you are going for a visit, 1 day visit, which would eventually turn to 1 week, eventually turn to 1 month, and it goes. So would you go back to your parent to tell them that, no, I tried and I did not succeed? Or you will just rent your apartment and continue?
You can bear with me. I cannot be out of our house for 6 months and my parents don't call or they don't try to know where
Of course,
I am.
they know where you are.
They know where I am. So they are my parents. If it's my father's house, I have all my rights to go back there. Nobody will send me out.
Of course.
I tried, it didn't work, and I've come back home.
To try.
Why should I go and take an apartment to start over? Why? I'll go back to our house.
So
I'll
that-
proudly go back to our house.
So that you can take the next trial again and see if the next second one will work. Okay. For time constraint, we are coming back to Mildred. We want to find out from you, if you were to talk to our women who are out there, because we know that the whole issue lies on the woman. If a woman pins her grounds and says, I am not coming until you do the necessary, I don't think that come with stay will take place. If you were to talk to those women who are looking at us, those women who are in come with stay, those women who are contemplating going the way of discovering already in the house, like eating the meal and then trying to get into the dish again, what would you tell them?
All right, a word to the women out there. If you're already in it, it's never too late. Move out. If that man values you as much as he says he does, he will come and do the right thing. There is no price tag on marriage. You must not make an extravagant occasion to call everybody. You can make something small. There is no price tag on marriage. And if you have not got into it, it is not very advisable to go into it. Just think about it. What if it fails? Where do you end up? So my advice is, don't go into come or stay, no matter the situation.
Even if the financial crisis conditions, economic conditions are too difficult, stand your ground.
Stand your grounds. Stand your grounds. If he really, really values you, he will get you.
Okay, let's take the views of Pelagie, you are talking to the men who are out there. They are planning to, they want to get married to you, right? Like she says, because your family, I know that from your tribe, to get married is 5 million francs, and I've never seen 1 million francs to talk of 5 million francs. Now talk to that to those young men who are planning to get into Come We Stay. What would you tell them?
It's not a bad idea.
Oh,
it's not a bad idea. When you are into Come We Stay, you learn to know the woman. Then while doing so, don't forget that you need to legalize things. You need to be conscious that you don't have to waste that girl's time for nothing. If you see that it's not working out, don't force it for too long. Then let her go. Without which you can take enough time. If you are taking more than 1 year, it means really you're seeing something positive in her. So the small negative one that is there, try and keep it beside, because there is no positive without negative. Then look for a way. Even if it's that the bride price is too high, the two of you can work out things. Yes, you work out things, then go in for the legal issue.
The time is already on our side, but I would have loved to ask you, there is this simple issue term when it talks about marriage. We always talk about knock door. You know what knock door is all about?
Introduction.
Yes, you go and introduce yourself. This Come We Stay, even without introduction, would you still cancel it? Would you still go for it?
No.
Okay.
No, that's why I said I cannot be out of our house for up to 6 months and my parents don't know where I am. Meaning, if I
no, your parents don't know where you are. There are many ways your parents can know where you. Because what normally happens with young women, you are, and you understand what I'm talking about. I know that you know, is you just disappear from the house, and then they start finding. Have you seen where Madrid has gone to? Have you seen where Pelagie has gone to? Before they hear, Pelagie is in Ndopasi. Before they want to understand, Pelagie is with somebody, and that's how it goes. And then one evening, you just come and you are standing beside the house where your mother will call you, shout at you, and you still take your back and go back to Ndopasi. So Come We Stay. What would you tell them now? We are rounding up. Talk to them.
No, even if you are going in for Come We Stay, it should be like a legal Come We Stay.
Okay.
That is, you can go and introduce yourself to the family. Say, I really wish to take your child in marriage, but we are not yet ready. You take the list.
And after introducing yourself and it fails, would you go back to tell them that I've discovered that you are a child? We are not compatible. Can you still? Those are the complications.
It's really complicated.
Immediately we are rounding up. Those are the complications. Would you still go and face the parent and tell them that as I came, I introduced myself? No, I cannot cope up with your child.
That's one of the reasons we should avoid it.
Okay.
We should completely avoid it.
All right, ladies, I would have loved us to take this.
I'm going straight to the marriage, and it doesn't work out.
And you must have to survive, because you said you are bound to survive.
No. What if you go into marriage directly and things don't work out because you people are not compatible?
Okay.
What happens to that?
All right. What happens to that, ladies and gentlemen? That's the question we are leaving you tonight with, while telling you that you can take the argument on our Facebook page. The argument continue. We will be there to take your questions. That's all we had time for today's edition of the program. Thank you, ladies. I hope that tomorrow you will still be available when we want you.
Always.
Pleasure.
That is all. Goodbye. Immediately after this, it is the Primetime News with Cynthia Ngwemo.